What's up, solutionaries? I want to talk on a serious term that keeps getting thrown around. Illegal gun. I'm of the position that there is no illegal gun. Guns do nothing. People do stuff with guns. The person committed an illegal or unlawful act with the firearm. Okay? Words are power. Words are spelling. You know, y'all hear me say this a lot of times. It casts spells, and it can condition people in a particular way. So there's no illegal gun. The gun didn't migrate from Mexico, Canada, somewhere else, and become in America illegally. That's not what happened. The firearm didn't get up off the table, start running in banks, floating in the air, and start shooting people. It's not what happened. There is no such thing as an illegal gun. There is a firearm designed to protect you and your family and your personal property and your physical well-being from assailants, terrorists, and tyrants. That's what that firearm is created to do. What you do with that firearm determines your status, not the firearm. So we have to be very careful about that, okay? I am never going to tell someone or lean them in the direction of misinformation or the improper spell. Illegal means something that you do that harms another person's physical being or their personal property. A gun, until a human picks it up and makes a decision, is not illegal. Know the game, know the words, know yourself. Y'all be safe, be solutionary.
And, looking back at what you're saying now, the police are different in that area than they are, let's say, where I live now. And so I can understand that, but I think it's also up to the citizens that live in those areas to be educated like what you're doing, to put respect for the law enforcement, and the law enforcement may put respect on them.
Right. Right. I think we've gotten away from the concept of, which is very key. The government works for us. And that Constitution is designed to limit government. Our human rights manifested in the Bill of Rights, these are inalienable, God-given, whatever you call God, rights. No government can give them to you. No government can take them away from you. That portion of civics is deliberately not taught in urban areas because it gives you a sense of understanding of what's going on here. Now, if they could switch it and 180 it and make you think that, we have to do exactly what the government says, they already won because they have your mind. If they have your mind, I don't even have to think about your body. So that's exactly what needs to happen. More people from urban environments need to go, wait a minute, this is the protocol, this is the code of conduct, this is the standard. We're going to maintain a certain level of professionalism in our community police interactions. A good law enforcement officer, a good peace officer, understands that and knows that he or she the job is intended to serve, not obligated to protect. But you're here to serve the community, and if not, we are no longer going to be in the space where you can just do anything to us, American citizens. You're not going to just be able to do anything to us without any type of repercussions, because it's not okay. The government works for us. It is not the other way around. We have inalienable human rights, and we are going to manifest and exercise those rights regardless. Now, it's going to be a hard fight, but if more and more people in high urban population areas are on that, then we'll get, the type of limited government and good citizenship that the founding fathers spoke to.
Black Guns Matter. Group focuses on educating inner-city residents about guns and conflict resolution. When you look into the history of gun control laws and restrictions on gun ownership, the origins gun bans are extremely racist. By and large, their original motivation can be traced back to attempts to prevent disadvantaged people and minorities, especially black people, from possessing firearms. Modern gun bans were spurred by fears from Southerners of slave revolts, and later that newly freed slaves would seek revenge if they had access to firearms. This carried over into and beyond the civil rights era when groups, such as the Nation of Islam and the Deacons for Defense and Justice, began advocating for black people to arm themselves in order to defend against racially motivated crimes and government repression of minorities. One of the more well-known examples of this cause and effect is the extremely strict gun restrictions within the state of California. Those restrictions were implemented by the state legislature and supported by then-Governor Ronald Reagan in response to the Black Panthers' practice of exercising their Second Amendment right to be armed and in some instances even directly challenging the police while openly carrying those weapons. In more recent years, the efforts to consolidate gun ownership to those employed by the government and the further expansions of gun control has, like most state policies, have become draped in the PR of safety. As a result of that and the knee-jerk reaction of the general population to blame legal gun ownership for violent actions that more often than not involve illegal weapons, somewhat of a self-contradictory mindset in which people living in poor, inner-city communities support the government's efforts to limit their ability to defend themselves. That and the general lack of knowledge about firearms safety and Second Amendment rights within urban communities that he says he observed while traveling around the country prompted Maj Toure to start a group called Black Guns Matter. Toure's intention with the group is to educate those living within urban communities on the proper handling of firearms and create a sense of respect for gun ownership. In the process, he also trains them in methods of peaceful conflict resolution in order to discourage the use of guns for anything outside of self-defense. Currently, Toure and Black Guns Matter have raised over $20,000 toward funding a 13-city educational tour. In discussing his mission and goals on the National Rifle Association's blog, Toure cites his own past as a reason he especially wants to reach out to young people. Toure has seen plenty of his own challenges, as well as successes. Growing up in Philly, he has experienced firsthand tough neighborhoods, and carrying a gun around with no idea how to use it. I was 15, walking around with a gun I had no idea how to use and no real respect for, Toure said in an interview with Bearing Arms. In hindsight, I wish there was someone to say, hey, this is a firearm, it's not a game. He has lived the life of misunderstanding, the life that he continually seeks to change. Also, according to Toure, the ultimate goal of the Black Guns Matter movement isn't to expand, but rather the opposite. The ultimate goal of Black Guns Matter is to make it obsolete. Maj Toure. Wait, what? Why would someone who put so much time and energy into a movement that has taken the country by storm want it to disappear? Well, as Toure puts it, there shouldn't really be a need for this information to be spread in the hood. The goal is to inform as much of the urban population as possible so this conversation does not have to happen again. Making their way across major cities in the United States, Toure hopes to be able to reach every young person with his message: a firearm is a tool for their protection and for the shooting sports. He hopes to provide enough information and inform enough of the urban demographic that together, we can make this obsolete, and this is no longer a topic of conversation.
I want our community to be safe, to be knowledgeable, to be healthy, and to be protected. And I want them to be able to experience life to its fullest, not worrying about if I have the right to, to protect myself. I don't think that there is a white or black gun culture. I think there's an informed gun culture and an ignorant gun culture. You know what I mean? Our aim is to try to get more people on the side of the informed gun culture. Is there violence here? Yeah, and that's why we're here to fix it. You know, you can get guns in most urban areas before you can get a burger. If those people are trained in conflict resolution, excellent communication skills, excellent listening skills, this creates a situation where police officers don't feel as nervous. They don't think it's this radical guy with the, you know, the locks that's just gonna get out the car and start spraying. Clearly not informing people, especially in lower tax brackets, and not giving them the proper training is not working. If you inform a large amount of that, you know, those people, they will handle themselves differently. That's gonna cut down on murders. I know it. I know it. I eat my hat if it doesn't. You know what I mean?